Hey everybody, welcome back to Artfully Rogue. My name is Doug and I'm here in the shop today working on a few projects, and I started to wonder what I was going to do my next video on. It's raining outside and it's a little gloomy and you really kind of just want to be inside with a bottle of wine. I mean, glass of wine. But hey, how about if we make a pallet wine rack? Alright, this is going to be something very simple that anybody can make. You just need a few simple tools. And it shouldn't take you any longer than maybe 30 minutes. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Alright, to get started on a pallet wine rack, first of all, you're going to need a pallet. Alright, you can pick those up pretty much anywhere. You just have to look behind maybe industrial buildings, or sometimes you can find them behind the big box stores. Some of the tools that you're going to need, and you don't have to be an expert in tools, just some basic tools will get you by. A saw, a drill, with a paddle bit or a bit that you have that's about 1/2 inch or larger, no larger than 1 inch though, a hammer, some glue, and a box of nails. First, you need to decide where you're going to cut your pallet. Now, we're going to do a small wine rack, so we're only going to work with a small section. You have your outside rails and you have your center rail. We're going to be working with the center rail and one of the outside rails. And right now we're actually looking at what would be the back of the wine rack. So we're only going to go up 2 boards so that we have something to go against the wall. So we're going to mark here and here, and we're going to cut those. Just make sure that your saw blade stays on the outside of that center rail. Then, flip over your pallet. And make the same cut on the other side. Okay, next, stand your pallet up on end, and you're going to count up those 2 boards. And at the top of that second board is where you're going to make your next cut. You have 1 more board to cut, and that's right here in the center. So you've got the piece of pallet cut out that you want for your wine rack. The next thing for us to do is actually put a bottom on it. So you want to measure this opening and cut a piece of the pallet that you could use to close up the bottom. So now, with the bottom piece cut, all we need to do is glue it and nail it into place. Okay, for the most part, your wine rack is finished. It's got the bottom, all right? You mount it on the wall and you're gonna hang it from here. But let's make this a little bit more interesting and let's add a place to hang your wine glasses. Next, you wanna cut a piece of wood that's the full length of your wine rack. The piece to hold the wine glasses is now cut. This is the same length as your wine rack. Now you want to make sure that you put some spacers between the bottom of your pallet wine rack and where the glasses go. So I just cut some small pieces from the same pallet board. Now you can choose to do 1 or 2 spacers depending on the type of glasses you have. I'm going to go ahead and use 2. You want to attach your spacers to the board that's going to hold your wine glasses. If you have some clamps, now would be a good time to use those. And if you don't have clamps, just find something heavy. And give the glue about an hour to set. Once your spacers have had time to set, we want to make sure that we can cut some openings to slide our wine glasses into. For that, we're going to need our drill. This particular wine rack is going to hold 4 glasses. So you want to measure between the spacers and divide that by 4. With this particular wine rack, it's 15 inches between spacers. So 15 divided by 4 gives me roughly 3 inches 3/4. So I'm going to mark on this board every 3 3/4 inches, and that's going to tell me where each wine glass is going to sit. Now you want to use a straight edge to divide your space up evenly, but whatever you have will work, as long as you know exactly where your spaces are. And then you want to find the center of each space. There's my center. You can always take a piece of paper, a plain piece of paper, and fold it so that you make a triangle. Line one corner to the other corner, and that's going to give you your center. Do that for all 4 squares. Now you want to drill a hole where you mark those X's. Okay, you're almost done. Now you want to draw some lines that you're going to cut out to allow the glasses to slide through. You're almost there. So now you've got your piece cut for your glasses. You've got your holder for your wine. Now you just want to put those together. Best way to do it is probably get some long screws and drive that into your pallet. Let's do that now. One of the things that I didn't mention at the very beginning of this video is that you might need a small drill bit. That'll help drill some pilot holes into the pallet wood before you screw into it. Sometimes pallet wood is pretty dry and it has a tendency to crack. So drill a small hole, smaller than the thread of the screw that you're going to use, that'll help prevent the wood from cracking. And there we have it. A wine rack made out of a pallet. Not too bad. Now we can give it a little bit of character.